Hey guys, so this is going to be for my presentation on Felix Mendelssohn, specifically as it's titled The Introduction to Felix Mendelssohn for our class. I'm having to do my recording on my phone, so it's on a weird angle. It's going to move a lot, because I have to hold it, so I apologize. But yeah, we work with what we get, guys, so I do apologize. This is going to follow specifically what's on my PowerPoint for the class. At the very end, I think it is slide number 8, there is a link that will be the YouTube video used for the comparison. We're going to be comparing Felix Mendelssohn's violin concerto in E minor and Mozart's piano concerto in G major. We covered the piano concerto earlier in the semester. If y'all need me to, I can get another link to that and connect it to all this. I'll probably put it with this video somehow anyways, just to make everybody else's life easier. But that is going to be the comparison that I'm doing towards the end of this. So if y'all have any questions, please make sure you watch the video first. Okay. So Felix Mendelssohn's full name is Jacob Ludwig Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy. He was born February 3rd, 1809 in Hamburg, Germany, but he passed away in Leipzig on November 4th, 1847 due to having a stroke. Throughout his life, Mendelssohn was a successful German composer, pianist, conductor, and organist, all of these of the early Romantic era. He was born, in fact, into a Jewish family, but he was raised non-religious up until the age of 7. He had 3 siblings, but we're only going to focus on one of them for the sake of time, little Miss Fanny Mendelssohn. Fanny Mendelssohn was a German composer and pianist of the Romantic era, but she was also his sister, but she is lesser known than he was, obviously. She still managed to compose over 460 pieces of music, including piano trios, solos, and vocal works. However, she was not allowed to pursue music professionally by their father because it was not considered okay for a woman to consider it professionally at the time. So Mendelssohn stood at the very forefront of German music during the 30s and the 40s. His music was greatly influenced by the music of Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, and Weber. These are all composers of the classical era, which is the era immediately before the Romantic era. And he began studying piano at the age of 9 under the direction of Ludwig Berger. Whenever you look at Felix and Fanny as like siblings, they work together really well throughout their lives, I guess. Obviously you can't find that kind of personal stuff, but it said that in 1817 they had played for a family member who was also a pianist, and she had said that Felix played with genius and Fanny played with virtuosity beyond all comprehension. Sorry, big words. Even though Fanny still, like I said, did not get to pursue music professionally. In roughly June of 1819, Felix and Fanny both began studying music theory under Karl Friedrich Zelter. I don't think I said that right. And while Felix was indeed younger than Fanny, he also always managed to keep up with Fanny in their studies, whether he was right where she was or he was ahead of her. Mendelssohn spent a lot of his time in Leipzig. While in Leipzig, Mendelssohn did specifically focus on the town's musical life. He conducted many pieces, including his own compositions, works by his contemporaries, and 3 series of what he called historical concerts featuring music of the 18th century. A highly noted landmark of Mendelssohn's career was in fact the premiere of his oratorio Paulus, what we know now as St. Paul. St. Paul is considered to be his finest work for many, many reasons. So let's see. I had written something down about this I could tell y'all. So this brings together the parts of the Old Testament and the New Testament to tell the story of St. Paul. He worked on this with a childhood friend who had become a preacher named Julius Schumbring. I highly doubt I said that one right. The composition of the libretto itself started in 1832. They worked collaboratively. However, the musical side of it did not begin until 1834, so a full 2 years later. It's written in two parts. The first part is just an introduction. It continues with the martyrdom of St. Stephen and St. Paul's conversion and baptism. Part 2 continues with the mission of Paul and Barabbas, Paul's persecution at the hands of his former co-religionists, the healing of the lame man in Lystra, something like that, the resistance of the Jews, and following the mention of his martyrdom, a final chorus based on Psalm 103. Each part of this is 22 full movements. And in case you don't know, that's a lot of music. A lot. But anyways, so this was not all that he had done actually in Leipzig. He also founded the Leipzig Conservatory, which is a well-known German music school, in 1843. The school still stands. It is still really high up in the world. A lot of students go there to study. If you recall, we had the German Opera Experience folks come and talk to us, and some of us auditioned for that. And we were going to be flying into Leipzig, and I don't know that we were going to be studying over at Leipzig Conservatory, but we definitely would have gotten to see it. It's just a really big historical landmark for them. In 1844, Mendelssohn paid his 8th visit to Britain, where he did manage to conduct 5 Philharmonic Symphony orchestras in London. If you know what a Philharmonic is, to get featured in the Philharmonic and as just a minor player is a really big deal, let alone be the conductor over them all. And it was noted by Schumann that Mendelssohn was the Mozart of the 19th century. Mozart, like we had talked about in another presentation, he was really essential to the musical world, if that makes sense. I don't think that made sense. I'm sorry. So if you're following with me, I don't know that you are. Slide number 9 specifically says comparison, and it has the link. If you hit control and click on the link, it'll take you to this video. Do me a favor, listen to like the first 3 minutes of this. It's not bad. We covered Mozart's piano concerto in G major earlier on in this semester. Like I said, I will be posting the link to that one with this video somehow. I'll probably just tag it on, like, in the description box or whatever. So I was asked to compare these two pieces, and y'all, while I'm a music major, I'm not very good at comparisons. So Mendelssohn's violin concerto primarily focuses on one soloist. She's a violinist, whereas Mozart does not focus specifically on one soloist. He actually has like little mini solis and stuff like that for like full sections or voicings throughout his piece, like flute and oboe play together and stuff like that. If it wasn't already obvious enough by the title of each piece, Mendelssohn's piece is played in E minor and Mozart's piece is played in G major. Mozart starts his piece by featuring his violinist, a solo violinist, for a second, whereas Mendelssohn started his with the full orchestration, and then the soloist joined in. In my personal opinion, I liked Mozart's composition better, but everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I just liked Mozart's. I like major music, not minor music, so I do apologize. Please do not sue me for being who I am. A few smaller details in Mendelssohn's life that are not included in this presentation. Mendelssohn did get married in 1837. He would marry Cecile Charlotte Sophie Jean Ramon. Um, I said that wrong. I apologize. I apologize to Dr. Hurley specifically. But they got married on March 28th of 1837. They would go on to have 5 children. Their names would be Carl, Marie, Paul, Lily, and Felix August. Um, yeah, I think that's basically everything I have to tell you guys right off the top of my head. If you go over the handout I gave you, I do believe that I have included his wife and children in that handout. Um, I'm pulling that up right now to look at, and I will let you know for sure if I put it in there. It helps if you pull up the right one. So, Jewish family, 104, Fanny. I don't know if I did say this or not. St. Paul, or Paulus, is Felix's finest and most well-known piece of music. Well, oratorio, work, composition, smart people words. Yeah, it's in the, it is in you guys' handout that I put for you. It is 2 pages long, and my primary source for everything came from Grove Music Online, so I did tag that on there for you guys. If you guys wanted to look into anything else, that's up to you. But yeah, I think that's essentially it. There are a few spelling errors throughout the PowerPoint I did notice, but I've already sent it to you guys, so there's really not much that I can do. But yeah, I hope you guys are having fun having to do all your classes online. Bye.